We know that President Trump requested the National Security Council be prepared in the Situation Room for his return. We know that according to an administration official. What would have been the most pressing subjects to discuss upon his return?
Well, you certainly have to look at it in context, and we have seen just in the last few weeks, but then also in recent days, additional military power being sent to the region. We have, of course, the B-2 bombers on Diego Garcia. They're reportedly A-10 Warthog tactical attack craft on Diego Garcia. New destroyers have been sent. Aircraft carriers have been sent, and allegedly up to 30 aerial refueling jets have been sent from the United States to Europe, all of which seem to be postured to conduct substantial and large-scale strikes. So, I mean, you can read between the lines, but the fact that you have lots of combat power at the same time you have Trump leaving the G7 specifically to chair a National Security Council meeting, it looks like that they're looking at options of the United States entering the war. I certainly hope that's not the case. I hope it's the case that they're talking about finding other ways for diplomatic off-ramps and lowering the tensions, but it doesn't look good, quite frankly, at this point.
So we know Israel's campaign has rapidly progressed over the last week. In the last 24 hours alone, Israel has claimed aerial superiority over Tehran. Its military says it killed Iran's new wartime chief of staff earlier today. We also know Prime Minister Netanyahu has not ruled out killing Iran's supreme leader. That's something that President Trump vetoed. Do you think that's still a realistic possibility?
Listen, we got to say that everything is a realistic possibility for the Israeli side. I mean, there's almost nothing that they wouldn't do that they haven't done already. And I think that it would be a really, really bad move. It sets another precedent that one day could come back to haunt our side, because once you set the standard that, yeah, you can just assassinate leaders left and right, then there's no reason why our enemies or opponents in the future wouldn't do likewise, which has kind of been a taboo off the table. You have the leaders kind of protected, and you fight at the point of contact. But if now we escalate and say that's also on the table, then wars could take an awful dirty turn. And I just don't think it would do anything to help, because anytime you have these regime change operations, I mean, you don't have to look any further than Libya. It completely turns into disaster. And I think this one would be just as bad if they try a regime change operation.
Danny, put in context for us just how much damage has been done to Iran's military assets at this point.
What there appears is there's been a lot of damage to Iran's air defense capacity, and I think that the evidence is pretty conclusive that Israel is correct and that it has air supremacy, which means it has virtual freedom of operation. It can do whatever it wants, and there's nothing that Iran can do in return. But there's also an argument to be made that Iran has missile superiority over Israel, because you see there's virtually nothing getting shot down, or at least small percentages, especially some of their better long-range missiles are flying through that air defense network with impunity. And we're talking the Iron Dome, David Sling, the THAAD system, Patriot air defense systems. They've got all that stuff out there, and yet you see these missiles routinely fly through there. So this is a situation where both sides seem pretty free to launch missiles into the capital areas of the other side.